Hello and welcome to SideGig. My name is Kevin Platt from the University of Pennsylvania.
And I'm Paul Saint-Amour from the University of Pennsylvania.
And this is a show in which we interview interesting people and then sing songs with them.
Welcome to SideGig.
So we're joined today by Eugene Ostashevsky, who is a poet of some note. He also is a translator who has translated a lot of untranslatable Russian poetry into English. He lives half of the time in other languages. He grew up in another language until he was a teenager. And we're going to talk today about his poetry, but also we're going to sing a song with him.
27 philosophers study the eclipse. 27 philosophers are made up mostly of lips. 13 philosophers on each side. And the center one flips. Says the center philosopher, "You guys are upside down." The other philosophers say, "No, it's you who's upside down." Peepeesaurus comes in and says, "The upside down is upside down." Have you heard about Peepeesaurus? He buy a blue balloon. Green is the color of his orange hair. His smile is like a spoon. Yup, when the Peepeesaurus comes, all the philosophers swoon. Says the green philosopher to the orange philosopher, "If N is O, then O is P, and P is Q." Says the orange philosopher to the lilac philosopher, "I follow you." Says the lilac philosopher to the vermilion philosopher, "What is the color of white?" Says the vermilion philosopher to the egg yolk yellow philosopher, "Have you heard about the Peepeesaurus? It's the end of the world." Everybody's expecting the Peepeesaurus. Peepeesaurus comes in and says, "I'm not late, am I?" "No," says everybody. "Peepeesaurus, Peepeesaurus, go and make some pee-pee. Peepeesaurus, Peepeesaurus, go and make some pee-pee. Make some pee-pee, Peepeesaurus. Pee-pee is yippee." Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene.
Fantastic.
When I took a class with Joseph Brodsky when I was in school, he told us that every poem grows from, a single line or a single image.
Well, yeah.
And you can spot it.
I was at the beach with my sister and her son, who, oh my God, it's like 20 years ago, who was
Way before the appearance of your own
who was
children.
then like 3 years old. That age when little boys are just really concerned with,
Pee-pee.
pee-pee.
And
I'm
sometimes
walking-
dinosaurs.
Yeah, and dinosaurs.
Yes. Yeah, and dinosaurs, and also that age when they're kind of reciting poems to themselves, but like without words. Or with like made up words, right?
Yeah.
They have that rhythmic thing. So I'm walking behind him, and he's saying, "Peepeesaurus, Peepeesaurus, go and make some pee-pee."
Little
And I was,
incantation.
I was like, wow. So I came home and I wrote that. Peepeesaurus, Peepeesaurus, what you're doing uptown? Peepeesaurus, Peepeesaurus, you're chasing our women around. Don't you worry, forget your Saurus. Peepeesaurus is passing by, yeah. Peepeesaurus. Hey, Peepeesaurus, where did you get that hat? Hey, Peepeesaurus, are you allergic to the cat? Hey, Peepeesaurus, you dynamic dude. Today in a pee-pee positive mood, you looking like Mademoiselle Davignon good. first day. Would you mind if we shouted hooray as your past one reads infinite like a ray? Très chic, très cheek, très shock, très, Peepeesaurus, yay, not Peepeesaurus. Peepeesaurus, what's your reply? Peepeesaurus, he ain't to fly, no word can apply. Peepeesaurus, know why, he's just, yeah, passing by.
When we were talking to you a few days ago, Eugene, you were saying, and we were talking about pieces of music that this poem might work with. You immediately said "Heroin" by Velvet Underground. Was that in your head when you were writing this poem, or is it like a post facto thing?
Because there's lines from there, right?
Oh, there are.
Yeah, what you're doing uptown
Okay.
is "Are you chasing our women around?" is from that
Heroin.
song. Yeah.
Got it. I've just exposed my ignorance of the
Are you a
song
deep
whose chords I
Lou Reed
just
fan?
learned.
Am I what?
A deep Lou Reed fan?
Am I a deep Lou Reed fan?
Yeah.
No, it's mostly that album.
Was the Velvet Underground like one of your musical influences? What are the other musical influences
I'm not a music. I don't have musical influences.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of your early poetry, you were thinking a lot about hip hop and rap
I
rhyming.
was, yeah. I mean, whatever. When I was 18, I guess there was a lot of hip hop. I mean, the kind of 80s hip hop with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and that kind of stuff. You know, there was a poetic aspect to it because it rhymed. So it made sense to me as a Russian in a way that, you know, non-rhyming things didn't.
Tell us about DJ Spinoza. Who is DJ Spinoza? And why is there a whole cycle of poetry about him?
So Parshikov was visiting me in New York. This was very late 90s.
Alexei Parshikov.
Yeah, the Russian poet. And somehow we started talking about Spinoza. And then I went to Turkey with a copy of Spinoza's Ethics. And I took a train from Ankara to Istanbul. I got like a single compartment. It was a really long ride, like 14 hours or something absurd. And I was reading Spinoza's Ethics and thinking about how funny of a project Spinoza's Ethics is when you look at it now.
What's funny about it?
Well, a number of things are funny about it because, so first of all, you know, this whole idea of organizing, of doing a metaphysics like geometry, right? Like Euclidean geometry with proofs.
That doesn't seem to me to be an odd thing to do if you're like
It's not an odd thing to do in the
early
17th
modern philosopher.
I am not an early modern philosopher, right? I mean, I was taking a train in Turkey in like the year 2000, right? So through the thickness of time and ages, it became like a funny project. The very idea of I'm going to sit in a room and I'm going to understand everything there is to understand about the universe is a funny idea.
But how did he become a DJ?
Because they spin.
Makes sense.
Can we talk more about music? I know you were saying you don't have musical influences.
So there actually is a lot of music in that book. It's funny. I should have looked at that book before this interview because I didn't know we were going to have an interview.
I told you we were doing a podcast.
There's a lot of samples in that book. And they go anywhere from kind of the Russian stuff that my parents would listen to, like Wysotsky and stuff, to even Louis Armstrong or something.
Can you say what makes them samples instead of allusions or quotations? Is it just because it's happening in the frame of DJ?
I think I just said allusions in a fancy way.
So you do have musical influences.
as we have
guess.
now determined.
Yeah.
So can we just talk about like what happens when you really fall hard for a piece of music, like, whether it's Heroin or another piece of music? Like, do you listen to it obsessively? Do you take it apart? Do you want to know how it works, or do you just want it to sort of like be in the room with you, but not under a hot
It's
lamp,
like doing the dishes.
repeatedly spinning?
This summer, I was listening a lot to to So What, to Miles Davis, So What, and I listen to it when I do kitchen stuff, and then Ava, who is 9 now, was 8 then, and my daughters, I want them to listen to just some jazz so that they become New Yorkers. But they listen to like this horrible stuff that 9 and 15-year-olds listen to. So Ava runs into the room as I'm listening to Miles Davis, and she's just, "That is not beautiful. Turn that off."
Could you describe, just like in your own words, what their music sounds like to you?
I mean, donk, 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 donk. I mean, kind of like that. And then with a woman's voice over it.
So, Lou Reed, we've already established, is a lyricist worth sampling from. Who are the other lyricists interesting enough to make them sampleable into Eugene Ostashevsky's poetry?
There's song cultures where the language stuff is very important to me. There's, I don't know, when I teach my class on multilingualism, I started with That's Amore, right? With all the Italian American songs, right? You want translingualism, or indexing, you can show them the videos of Italian American songs. They're Yiddish songs that work in the same way. There's for parallels with avant-garde poetry, there's scat music, right, which emerges shortly after Zaum, or probably at the same time as Zaum, and it's like Zaum, only better.
What happens for you when Second Peepeesaurus is set to, semi-professional music, as it just was? Does it change in the
Where
mouth
was the
for
semi
you?
in that?
Well, I'm the semi, you're the professional.
So sorry.
Does it? Well, it's very strange for me because I never really sang it to music.
Yeah.
And part of it is that all the rhythms are off, but they're all off in a different way, the way I sing it. So when you actually have real music, it's very disorienting. I mean, it's supposed to be disorienting, but it's disorienting not in the way in which it's supposed to be disorienting.
I've heard a recording of you doing it at Bowdoin years ago, in which it does sound as if you're singing it, even though there's not a rhythm section and there are no chords. So, it was, but you're singing it to a metronome that only you can hear. And I think it's not quantized. So to actually have to sing it to something like a beat, I can imagine that'd be very strange.
It's tough. Yeah.
So this project of Kevin's and mine is called SideGig because, we're trying to get people to do uncomfortable musical things with uncomfortable musicians, which is
that was very successful.
Yeah.
But you seemed actually pretty comfortable. I mean, I think this poem was a good pick for it. Do you have a side gig that you're willing to cop to, on tape?
No, not really.
Is there one that you long to have that you haven't had a chance to indulge in?
When my kids grow up, I would like to have several side gigs.
Can we get a handshake promise that when your actual side gigs materialize a few years down the road, you'll come and share them with us?
Okay.
We'll be invited to your restaurant or...
No, I was actually thinking of something like taking up meditation. That's something very exciting, like having a restaurant.
All right, we can sit in near silence.
Yeah, we'll go to a retreat.
Banging an occasional gong. Thanks so much, Eugene.
Thank you, Eugene.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. All right, I'm going to go make some pee-pee.
All right.
Thank you.